We found some brand new homes with some of our favorite builders in Houston that have marked their prices $50,000 and even $100,000 below what they're selling these homes for in other neighborhoods here in Houston. But the confusing part is I don't know why. This neighborhood is just as nice and it's in a killer location. In fact, we're just 5 minutes from downtown Magnolia, Texas, and the neighborhood we're checking out is Escondido. It's right off of Highway 249, which is the new toll road here in Magnolia that cuts through Tomball and gives you direct access down into Houston. But the craziest part is these are some of Houston's top builders. We've got David Weekley, Perry Homes, and Coventry, and their prices out here are starting as low as $299,000. In fact, Coventry, the first builder we're gonna go in, has homes move-in ready right now at that price, and that is before their incentives. Some of these builders are giving crazy flex credit incentives where you can come in and decide if you want to take it off of the sales price, or with these higher interest rates, a lot of clients we're seeing are buying those interest rates down. Some of them as low as 3.99% interest, which is a complete game changer if you've been looking to buy a home and feel like you can't because you got a 7% interest rate. That's not the case here, and that's why we're selling so many homes out here. In fact, we've filmed this neighborhood before, but we're back because time and time again, people looking in the Magnolia area come back to Escondido because it is the best value neighborhood out of all of the development out here. In fact, one of my great friend clients is under contract with Coventry as we speak, building a home because we were able to get them an insane deal. So we're gonna go inside Coventry first, but we also have Perry Homes. My mother lives in a Perry. I love Perry Homes. They're a great builder. And last but not least, we've got David Weekley, which is known for that energy efficiency. So there's something out here for everybody, but the craziest part is all three of these builders have homes in that $300,000 price range. So let's get you inside and check out our first house. Now, Coventry Homes and the other two builders we're checking out all have two model homes out here, but they're building on three different lot sizes. The smallest is gonna be what we're starting with. This is a 45-foot wide lot, which means this model home itself is 35 feet wide. But what's cool about this one is this is one of their two-story options. So right when you come in at the front, you got the staircase, and we'll circle back to that secondary downstairs bedroom because I wanna get you immediately over here into the house. I want you to see really how wide these 45-foot products can be. It's nice open, it's got this open concept to it, and this home is right around 2,100 square feet. Now they've got some homes starting on the smaller side out here around 1,600 square feet, and then in their 60-foot products going well up over 3,000 square feet. So there's plenty of different floor plan configurations, and really depending on which builder you like the most, and we'll try to show you like kind of the differentiating factors today as we check out all three builders, but all three of them are building all three product sizes. So no matter what size you want, I would focus more on the builder you want, and then we can kind of narrow it down from there. So one of the things I like a lot about Coventry, I do like their finishes. They seem to have a classy vibe to them. And what you see in their model home isn't too over the top. These wood floors are definitely gonna be an upgrade from what you see in some of their inventory homes. But with Coventry, you do have the option to contract on a lot, pick your floor plan, and go to the design center and pick everything out. And that would allow you to do things like this, where you could have like a white shaker cabinet and have a nice white oak kitchen island, do the two tones, stuff like that. So as far as the floor plan goes, I do like the kitchen tucked in over here. The pantry is in a convenient location in the corner. And then you do have some upgraded fixtures, considering these homes come in the low 300,000s. In fact, they've got one right now priced at $299 that's move-in ready. I'm impressed with the finishes. So I love these countertops, nice deep Kohler farmhouse sink. And then you do have the slide-in gas range. They got gas out here, so if you don't want to cook on electric, you do have gas connections, which is nice. And then you got your microwave kind of tucked right up here above it. But overall, for a two-story home, I like that you get that separated space upstairs, but it doesn't feel tight down here. It kind of opens it up. When you're cramming a one-story in 2,100 square feet, usually these living spaces get just a little bit smaller, but plenty of room in the dining area. I mean, they've got a 6-seater table here, but because of how it's run long ways, you've got a lot of room over here. So if you did have a bigger family, but you were working on a lower budget and wanted to be in a two-story home like this, probably getting this home around $325,000, the same exact floor plan they have for sale right now. So plenty of space in it, and I do love these floors, I will say. I've got the real wood floors. This isn't the vinyl plank that we see in a lot of these homes. It's not the tile. This is the real stuff. I'd avoid it if you have dogs, but otherwise I think it looks great. So I like that you've got this big open kind of 2-story ceilings here in the living room, but what you probably can't see from where you're at right now, and I'll pull you over here, is it does open up. So the ceiling kind of pitches up And you can see you've got that second story kind of spilling over here into the downstairs area. Now, some people don't like that just because the noise factor. You know, if you got the kids upstairs, it's just gonna kind of echo, but it is nice because it opens this living room up, makes it feel like a lot more spacious. So I think it's pretty loud out in the backyard. We're gonna show it to you really quick, but all the lawn crews just follow us around when we film. So here, you can hear them now, but pop out here, you got a nice covered patio. They did upgrade the actual decking on it, but this just goes to show you the size of the yards. This is 45 feet wide, so you can see from fence to fence. That's what a 45-foot wide lot looks like. And they're gonna vary in depth. Now, one of the reasons I think that they're able to get the prices down out here is a lot of their lots, not all of them, but a lot of them are a little bit shorter, so you're not gonna have these huge backyards. However, kind of the secret trick is to come out here and plan out that when they're building out their next section and pick your lot first. And if you can do that, that's gonna give you the ability to get these really well-priced homes and still get those bigger lots, which is nice. So coming in the master, tons of natural light just pouring in here, and you've got this subtle bay window. It just kind of bows out and it just gives you that extra bit of space over here on this side of the table, or on the side of the table, on this side of the bed. But over here, these things look like tables. You got these massive nightstands. So just to show you for reference, I mean, that's not a normal nightstand. That's like a full armoire on each side of a king bed. So plenty of space in here, even have room for a little reading chair. Now the bathroom's a little tight, but this is pretty common for 2,100 square feet. So at least you're getting 2 vanities. They're nice adult height. They didn't do the little kitty height. And then I love the cabinets. Once again, you got a toilet room here, and then you've got no bathtub, which I think we're seeing that a lot more now. Personally, I'm fine with that. The only reason I really like having a big tub in the master is if you got little kids, we do, it's easier to just bathe them all in there together. So otherwise, I mean, we personally don't use one. I love the shower. It's a little skinny, but it's pretty long. You don't even need a door on it because of how deep it is. And then over here, we're obviously gonna judge the closet. I'm gonna give the closet a 6.5. I don't expect much in these kind of smaller 2,100 square foot homes, but I just wish they'd give you a little bit more space. So that's it for the master, but we still have one more bedroom over here downstairs. Now, all the other rooms, including the laundry room, are gonna be back up here towards the front of the house. And the laundry room's kind of hiding under the stairs, but it's nice, it's centrally located. And even though they don't have units in there right now, you can tell that there is enough space to comfortably get in and out of there. And then they've got extra storage down under here. This is a big coat closet too, nice and deep. They've got the hanging rod, but it's not one of those shallow closets. You can really store your stuff in there. And even though it's a smaller 2-story home, I love that they have a secondary bedroom here on the first floor. Now, they don't have a half bath. This is a full bathroom. You can see they've got that shower tub kind of combo set up. But over here, you got a full queen size bed in here. Now it is underneath the window. I know some feng shui people wouldn't like that. Without a headboard, I don't mind it. But it would be tough to get a queen anywhere else in here other than under that window. You'd probably have to go with something a little bit smaller over here. And then as far as closet goes, it's actually pretty wide, but it's just not a walk-in closet. I mean, it goes all the way back over here, all the way back over here. So decent. I'd say make it a guest room. There's not a home office in this house, so you could use this as that kind of downstairs home office setup. And then you got the stairs. So there's nothing else up here at the front other than you do have the option on some of their floor plans to have a nice little covered front patio, so that I just don't have one on this house. Now upstairs, it's a pretty good sized room. Now, I did tell you it spills over to that downstairs. It also spills over here to the entryway. So what that allows for, despite the sound kind of spilling over, it does let the light pass through the house. So you get the light coming in through the windows. It keeps the house from getting too dark. And I mean, this is a full-size pool table, so it does go to show off. A lot of times they'll have some kind of like fake smaller pool tables in here and you'd hit the wall, but this room does give you plenty of space to do that. They got the TV set up over here, old school Coca-Colas, little sugar bombs, and this is what I was talking about. This kind of spills over nicely down into that downstairs area. Now, before we show you these other bedrooms, I think it's important to note where we're at. I said we're just 5 minutes away from downtown Magnolia, but if you don't know much about this area, it can be confusing. There's a lot of growth taking place here, and having grown up here in the area, Magnolia used to feel like it was out in the middle of nowhere, and that's because there was no freeway connecting it to anything. So to get to Magnolia, you'd have to drive out 1488 from Conroe or from the back of the Woodlands, And that's the area we would call New Magnolia. That was really where all the development took place over the past 10 or 15 years. And then once you got to Downtown Magnolia, which is very close to where we're at now, that was Old Magnolia. It was just kind of farm and ranch, nothing really going on. Well, in the past 5 years, there is a lot going on. So much so that there's a new Magnolia. So where it used to be right up between the woodlands, kind of closing the gap between Downtown Magnolia and the woodlands, now if you go even further out to 1486, that is where you're seeing all of the growth, because 1486, they've got Creston, which we just filmed for you guys. They've got Colton, which we just filmed for you guys. Both of those neighborhoods combined are over 10,000 acres of brand new development, and that's just a handful of them. They've got Magnolia Springs, they've got Blue Jack, which is a great golf course community. They've got Crown Oaks, they've got High Meadow Estates, High Meadow West, and the list goes on. In fact, another 1,200 acres was just acquired on 1486 yesterday, and there are probably gonna be plans, I would guess, for there to be another development there. So all that to say, you are right here 5 minutes from Downtown Magnolia, but the growth is not going to stop. It's not gonna slow down. So you're in a really killer location, but the crazy part is these homes in these other neighborhoods are $50,000 or $100,000 more. So I just want you to know exactly what the opportunity is out here in Escondido when you're shopping through the Magnolia area, because a lot of these other neighborhoods, their prices are starting in the mid threes, going all the way up. Some similar homes, even $400,000 plus. So up here, you've got 2 other bedrooms, pretty decent size. You got full size beds in here. And I do want to show you the closets, because the closets are important. So these got walk-ins, which is nice. And this is not locked, but here in Texas, we don't have basements. I know we cover this in our videos, but if you're new, you can't store stuff in basements because our water table is too high. They can't dig into the ground or to just fill up with water. So what we do is we have storage in our attics. So our HVAC systems go in our attics, our water heaters go in our attics, and all of our Christmas decorations go in our attics. So here's the shared bathroom upstairs. It is just a single sink, but it's still a good vanity area, plenty of space for 2 kids to share. And then this room's pretty much the same size. So it's got a queen size bed. This one though, doesn't look like it has a walk-in closet, but I'm digging what they did with the doors over here. So as we head on over and show you our next builder, I'm gonna walk you through all of Coventry's pricings so you can start to really compare them and see where you see the most value. This exact floor plan, they have a move-in ready inventory home, and it is priced at $324,900. So right at $325,000, you can get this same home, not a bait and switch, not a different house, this literal floor plan. But if you're trying to keep it at $299, they have one of their move-in ready inventory homes. It's a little bit smaller. It's their 1,650 square foot floor plan. It's their smallest floor plan. And they even have some floor plans going up to around 2,500 square feet. And even those are priced under $350,000. So tons of good offers and options with Coventry. Now that's in their 45-foot product. They also have a 50 and a 60. So if you like what you saw, but you're just needing more space, you can expect a lot of different options on some bigger, wider lots here in the same neighborhood, still at really affordable prices, most of them being in the 400s and then getting up barely into the 500s in their largest 60-foot product, which I will say there's not a lot of 60-foot products here in the city that start in the low 400,000s. It was very surprising to me. I'm in a 60-foot product and most of the homes in our range are like 700,000 plus. So it really is incredibly affordable out here. But we still have 2 more options for you. We've got Perry Homes, which they're known for their 2-year warranty. So it's something different and we'll walk you through all of that. But stick around because the last home we're gonna be showing you, personally, it's my favorite layout of all of these 45-foot products we're showing you. And theirs are even starting as low as $325,000, and it's the most energy efficient home out here. You can have those lower utility bills. So let's go check out our next house. It is a gorgeous day out here, the sun's shining, and right over here, you have one of those sidewalks we were talking about that run through the front yard. I think it's important to show that to you guys. And this is the exterior of Perry's 45-foot model home. But before we get you inside, I wanted to tell you, they've got some really killer amenities coming out here. If you don't follow our channel, then you may have never had it explained to you this way, but there are master plan communities where there's one developer and like 10 or 15, and sometimes even 20 different builders in that neighborhood. And then there's other builder communities where it's just one builder building their product. This one's kind of a hybrid. This is I would say a smaller, more boutique community that still has some nicer amenities, but you're not gonna pay those master plan community prices. In fact, a lot of people that are moving here because it's got a lower HOA. It's $900 a year. However, you're still getting a brand new pool that's under construction right now, and a splash pad and their playground. And even right across the street here, they're building a brand new Lone Star College, which is the local community college here in Houston. It's one of its satellite campuses. So there's a lot of development, as I've mentioned, coming out this way. You're just a few minutes away from the grocery stores. You're also just literally a few minutes, like walking distance, to our favorite barbecue spot that Keith and I are probably gonna go eat at as soon as we finish this clip, called The Meeting Place. We love it. So that's kind of the scoop on the neighborhood. It's kind of in between a builder grade community and a master plan community, but all three builders are really well known. And these are the builders that build in these master planned communities. You're just getting a little bit better price. So as we head on in, if you don't already know, my name's Kyler Ferris. We run one of the biggest real estate teams here in Houston, and we make these videos just for you guys. In fact, we get hundreds of people per month that reach out to us, and we've got over 50 agents on our team helping them citywide. So if you're thinking about moving here, don't be shy. Just give us a call, shoot us a text, send us a quick email. That way we can help you guys make a smooth move right here to Houston, Texas. Gonna lock that up so that nobody distracts us, because now we are inside of Perry's 45-foot model home. They do have a 50-foot model next door. All three of these builders have two model homes, as I mentioned, but none of them have a 60-foot model home. So all their 60-foot products, you're gonna have to kind of go off of looking at their 50-foots, or what a lot of clients do when they reach out to us and they decide, hey, we really like this neighborhood, but we want a bigger house. We will get with the salesperson and figure out where in the city they can go drive and walk those 60-foot products. Because it's one thing to see it on a piece of paper, but it's another thing to really see it in person. And Perry has more floor plans than almost any other builder. In fact, just in this 45-foot model home, they have 11 different one-stories and 6 different two-stories. They're known for their one-stories though, and it's because you can reconfigure the house like 20 different ways. So in this particular floor plan, they've got a home office up here at the front. I like this. It keeps it away where the kids aren't banging on these glass doors when you're trying to get some work done, but you can completely close this in. In my mother's Perry home, she's got a similar floor plan, but she's on a 50-foot product, and they turned this into a playroom for our kids so that whenever our kids come over, they can just drop them off and hang out. So what's behind door number 1? This is gonna be your laundry room. Pretty good size. I like that you've got a window here and place to store your detergents. And also you've got an extra plug here and room for a full-size refrigerator. So if you want that garage fridge, that beer fridge, you don't have to have it in your garage. You can have it right there. Now, over here is their sales area, but normally this would be a 2-car garage. They just kind of open it up here, your little landing area. And then this is how most of Perry homes are gonna be set up. This kind of half of the home is completely opened up, which is really the best way to give you an open concept in these kind of skinnier lots, because you only have 35 feet to work with. But as I mentioned, they have 11 different one-story floor plans, and they've got 6 different 2 stories, which they don't often show in their model homes. But a lot of our clients that come and build with Perry, some of them end up building those 2 stories, and they got some really good 2-story floor plans options as well. One thing I like about this kitchen setup is, for a smaller home, it's got probably the most counter space that it could have. You've got a kitchen island, but there's nothing on it. You don't have the cooktop, you don't have a sink in it. So it truly is an island you can use for prepping food, for serving food. And then you have this huge peninsula as well, which has got 3 bar stools. You could probably fit 4. And then you've got this big, deep stainless farmhouse sink over here. Tucked in the corner, one thing I love about Perry Homes, not only do they have a ton of floor plan options, they also have a ton of floor plans. So you can come in here, mix and match, see which one's gonna live best for your family. And then you can either buy one that's move-in ready, which they've got a ton right here. I think they've got like 10 or 15 move-in readies on the ground, and we'll tell you the prices of those when we're walking over to check out our next builder. But with those inventory homes, you just go ahead and contract on it. It's either done being built or it's in process, and you close when it's ready, or you can pick a floor plan and do a full dirt build. So over here, you got your full living room set up, but they've got the informal dining room. This is what I have in my house. It's in my mom's Perry. Really like it. We use this a lot. It just makes it easier to gather as a family. People can prep food in the kitchen. We'll do holidays in this setup, and then you can serve all the food up here at the bar, have the family sitting down over here at the table. You get a bunch of natural light. And then, let's be honest, the kids, they finish eating really quickly, or they don't eat at all, and then they can just run over here and play while you're finishing up your dinner. So it really is very livable. I like it way better than having a dining room, separated off at the front of the house. Just makes it easier for, like I said, or Christmas when you're opening gifts, have all the food over here and hang out. So pretty good living room, a lot of natural light with these windows. One thing that I will say I prefer in some homes, and I don't know if they offer it with Perry, we moved our mother-in-law here from Florida, and she just likes being outside, and these windows don't open up. So I would prefer to have some windows that can open up. It gets hot here a lot. You don't wanna have them open right now, but during those really nice months, you know, the spring and in the fall, it is nice to be able to open up those windows, let it kind of cool out. So this is the back patio. This comes standard. It's a pretty good size. And then they did this spray decking down here to kind of coat the concrete, which I think gives it a nice touch. They can do gas stub out. So if you wanted to build an outdoor kitchen, that's no problem. They've got plugs. And if you build, you can also have them throw plugs up higher if you wanted to mount a TV. I'd probably mount one right here. And then this is an addition. They just did like a cool little cornhole area. I like it. But this is just a good reference to show you the size of the yard. So they're not super deep here. If you wanted to build a pool, we could find you a lot out here with the pool, but a lot of people buying out here aren't, and they're building that neighborhood pool, which is gonna be nice. So you will have access to a pool, you just don't have to pay for one. And pools are pretty expensive these days. So even a cheap pool with no hot tub, it's gonna run you about 70 grand. And if you wanna get a really nice pool with the fire pit and a hot tub, you're gonna be well up over $100,000 very quickly. And I wouldn't recommend putting all that money into a $300,000 house. You're just not gonna get it back. So over here, big master, surprisingly large for this square footage. This is kind of one of their smaller to mid-size floor plans. So I don't know the exact square footage on this one, but it probably isn't up over 2,000 square feet. But they put the square footage in the areas that count. This is a really good sized king bed, and you got plenty of room here. And then the bathrooms in Perry's aren't tight. That's the one thing I really love about them. You've got two separate vanity areas, but they're not these crammed galley bathrooms. It kind of opens up, and you don't have to pick. You can have a full, you know, soaker tub, and then a big old walk-in shower over here. So nice glass, nice tile. And then I believe that you've got the closet tucked back in here. So, oh look, they even have a gift waiting for you. I actually wonder what that is. I'm probably gonna open it. So you've got your smart home system in here. This is where they're gonna run all of your Wi-Fi cables into the house. Not gonna lie, this closet's a little bit tight. I appreciate though that they went with dual levels here. You've got plenty of hanging space for like your dresses and stuff here. And then you do have built-in shoe shelves. So it's a tight closet, but it's at least well organized. For this size home, I'm not gonna judge it too much. I'm gonna give this one a 7. So in these Perry 1-stories, you're gonna have 10-foot ceilings, which give it a nice open feel. And you also see you got a lot of canned lighting in here. So even though you do have some good natural light with these windows, it's gonna brighten it up. And one thing I wanna show you, Perry Homes, if you buy an inventory home, 99% of the time, they're gonna have some type of wood look tile. So if you like tile, it's super durable, it's water resistant, kid resistant, pet resistant, all of the above, then you are gonna like it because Perry pretty much just uses tile unless you do kind of a custom build with them. Now, here you're gonna have a shared bathroom that's gonna be shared by not only both of these bedrooms, but also it's gonna function as the half bath for the house. So this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home with a front office. But if you want a 4-bedroom option, they've got plenty of floor plans that will accommodate that. And then some of them, you're not even gonna have to give up that office space. So they've got this one set up as a nursery. Even if they had a bed in here, I don't think it would feel too tight. It is a decent sized bedroom since they didn't try to cram 4 bedrooms in this house. And then you do have a full walk-in closet over here. So overall, I would say for this square footage, pretty impressed. You get 8-foot doors too. So it doesn't feel claustrophobic at all. Good amount of storage. You got an extra coat closet tucked in here between these bedrooms. And then last but not least, you've got probably the biggest of these 2 bedrooms right here with the full-size bed. And then let's check out the closet, see if we can tuck on in here. Voila, we got another walk-in closet. So overall, I like this floor plan a lot. If you need 4 bedrooms, they've got you covered. And as we walk next door, we're gonna hit you with all these prices because once again, these things are coming in at some really, really incredibly low price tags. Now we still have one more builder to check out, and it is David Weekley Homes, but I do want to tell you, these Perry homes start at 1,600 square feet, and they're going to go up to 2,600 square feet. So they have some larger options in their 2-story floor plans, but all of their prices are going to come in between $350,000 and $400,000. Now I'm not saying that we couldn't negotiate a deal down below $350,000, but one pattern that I did notice is that their floor plans and their homes are coming in at higher starting prices than both of these other 2 builders. Now, at the end of the day, I do think you get what you pay for. All 3 of these builders are really good. One thing that sets Perry apart though is their warranty. People love their warranty. they have a 2-year warranty on their homes. While all of these other builders will cover all of the kind of the basic cosmetic stuff for the first year, and then mechanicals for 2 years, and then typically these builders will carry like a 10-year on the structural, which is the foundation and the frame. What Perry does is they just have this all-encompassing 2-year warranty on the front end, which makes it really nice. Where that 11-month mark comes up and you notice something, you're not having to rush to get that warranty ticket in. You get 2 years to live in your house to make sure that everything's intact the way it is, or that you want it to, and then if it isn't, you just call them up and they come out and fix it, which is pretty nice. So that is it for Perry. Let's go check out David Weekley. David Weekley is definitely the winner in my book when it comes to this one-story layout. It's just over 2,000 square feet, but it feels the most open. It definitely, I feel like, utilizes the width of the house the best. In fact, we're in kind of a flex room that you could use as an office setup, a media room, or even a play area for the kiddos. And if you were building from scratch, you'd have the ability to close this in if you wanted. So you could close it in and have doors on it and use it for all three of those things that I just named, or you could leave it nice and open, and as you see, it really opens the house up. It connects it over here to this kind of formal dining area. I guess you could call it formal. It's its own dedicated space. But here is really where the home opens up. They use the entire width of the house. So you really truly have 35 feet across. And this is the only floor plan we've seen today that utilizes all of the house. Perry only uses half of it and kind of stack the bedrooms. So there's a nice kind of ebb and flow to this house. As you come in, it's not just one big kind of bowling alley hallway. And then look how much space is in here. Really the heart of the home opens up. They've got 3 bar stools. This is a standard, 4 bar stool countertop. So you got a lot of space to work with over here. And we'll start over here in the kitchen. The pantry is the first thing you're gonna notice. It's tucked in here. It's not a walk-in, but it is decent size, enough room for a 2,000 square foot home to store your groceries and your food. And then I like the countertops. They're nice and thick. They're not those cheap kind of skinny ones where they're trying to cut corners. And a lot of counter space in here. Plenty of cabinet space too, big kitchen, and you've got gas over here too. This one has the 5th burner in the middle, but it is still a slide-in range. It's not until you get into those higher price points, their 50s and their 60-foot products, where you start to see them do kind of like the drop-in cooktops, but still nice. Stainless steel appliances. This one's got kind of the dual-sided sink. You're gonna have options to pick from if you were to go the design route, or you could buy one of their move-in ready inventory homes, and they have a lot of them ready right now, and we'll hit you with pricing as we walk out of here. But I like that this whole kind of living room setup's nice and open. It's a pass-through living room, meaning you have to kind of walk through it to get places, but it's not tight. I mean, it's massive. You could definitely do a big L sectional over here. I don't think that you'd have any problems doing that, and you're not gonna really block these windows. They're nice and open anyway. So a lot of natural light coming through here. But yeah, this is definitely the biggest living area out of all the 2,000 square foot homes that I've seen. Over here, you got your back patio. It's good size, pretty standard. They did the spray decking here too. And then some of their floor plans are gonna have bigger patios that extend further off, but you got 10-foot ceilings out here as opposed to 9, so it's gonna open it up a little bit more. And then nice landscaping. If you back up to a road like this, you're gonna have an 8-foot cedar fence, so they're gonna give you a little bit more privacy. And then over on your neighbor's side, you'll have the 6-foot tall cedar, it's called a good neighbor fence, where every 8 feet, the panels just kind of flip around. Now this is a 4-sided brick home, and as usual with David Weekley, their energy efficiency is through the roof. So the construction on these homes is different than the other 2 homes that we showed you. And I'm gonna pause on that because wow, this is a huge master bedroom, tons of space in here. I mean, this is a big enough bedroom to be in a 5,000-6,000 square foot house. I mean, pretty much same square footage as we would see in those. So what I was saying though is you got 10-foot ceilings in here, but what's different with the David Weekley home is behind the walls here, this is 2x6 construction. So instead of 2x4s, you've got an extra 2 inches, which means that the stud spacing goes from 16 inches to 24 inches. And there's 2 more inches of space in between the walls. So they can fill it with a higher level of R-rated insulation, which what that really means is it's gonna bring down your electric bills. It provides a stronger home for you, but it's gonna bring that electric bill down. And all of their attics are conditioned spaces, meaning when you go in the attics, it's not gonna be as hot. So really helps kind of bring that energy bill down. Now, I like the bathroom setup because it isn't a little tight galley bathroom. You got 2 vanities over here. Now here, this is what I was talking about. You got kind of the thinner countertops. I don't hate them, but they're just a little bit cheaper than what we saw over in the kitchen. Still nicer than Formica. And then big fan of green, if you couldn't tell. Got the green watch. This is my kind of bathroom over here. So, Keith, should I tell them about the club championship? I would tell them. Guys, I did win the club championship out at Blue Jack, my home course. So I'm pretty stoked. I wore all green for 2 days, went out, shot the best round of my life. So if you like golf, you're really close to a bunch of good golf courses out here. So that's why I'm repping the green today. I'm riding that high. I wanted that really bad. And that bathroom reminded me of it. So as far as the closet goes, uh-oh, Keith, it's always David Weekley where I find clothing that I like. Look, here we go. We got another green shirt to add to my wardrobe. So large, I need to work out more. So I like this closet. It isn't huge, but I like the layout of it because you've got this extra little bit of hanging space over here. So overall, you know, for a 2,000 square foot home, I think I like this one the most today. I don't know if it's because there's not a door on it or what the scoop is or how it just kind of opens back up to the bathroom. But overall, I don't hate it. And then here you go, I'll show you. You got your little toilet room. Now, just follow me because I want you to get the flow of this house. The other 2 bedrooms are gonna be up at the front of the home. This is a 3-bedroom home. And then, as I mentioned, you could close this in if you wanted to and make it a home office, but I just kind of like the pass through, right? I like that it kind of connects through. It separates it off, but it's not too closed off. You know, the whole home's nice and open. And then this is what I was talking about as far as the home flows. It's not one big hallway, it kind of snakes through. So over here, this is gonna be your garage. You got 2-car garage. Now, in their larger products out here, they've got 3 and 4-car garage options, where it's a 2-car tandem garage, which holds 3 cars, and then an extra bump out. So as far as the laundry room goes, plenty of space in here. In fact, they probably should have put a plug here for a fridge because you could fit one. But yeah, you've got your washer dryer setups over here, and then they've got an electric and a gas line, so you can run a gas dryer here too. And then right here, got you a little bit of storage with your coat closet, which is nice. The floors in here are gonna be a vinyl plank. They almost have a barnwood look to them. So kind of distinct, different from the other 2. So far we've gotten the best of all worlds. We got real wood floors, we got wood look tile, and we got wood look vinyl. I love this, the Gone Fishing Room. Absolutely, I like golf and fishing. They're killing it today. So here we go, decent closets, but room sizes I would say are adequate, you know, kind of what you'd expect. This is a full-size bed, not a twin, and this is gonna be your kind of shared bathroom, also similar to the Perry home next door in their smaller footprints. These are 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes. They don't have a half bath. You're just sharing this bathroom for your guests as well as your kids. Not ideal if you got little kids, right? They're gonna keep the bathroom a mess. You'll have guests come over and they're like, you know, your kids' little squatty potties right there, but it just is what it is, right? To get homes at this low of price, that's a sacrifice I'd be willing to make personally with these interest rates where they're at right now. So decent ceilings in the bedrooms. You got 9-foot ceilings in here, full-size bed. And then here you go with the closet again. So we're gonna get you back outside and tell you exactly what this home would cost to build right now and what they have it for sale for on the ground in one of their inventory homes. And we're gonna show you the absolute best deal that you can find out here right now on a David Weekley home. So if you liked this floor plan, this is called the Bailey Wood, and I like David Weekley because they've got the signs right there in case you forget the floor plan, but it was 3 bedrooms. They've got some really good 4-bedroom options too. This floor plan was 2,080 square feet, and I just loved how it flowed through as a 1-story, but they've got a lot of move-in ready homes that are already completed on the ground right now that they are willing to negotiate on. And all of those prices are kind of in the low 300s. Their largest floor plans that are about 2,600 square feet, the highest one's coming in at 375. This exact floor plan they have on the ground move-in ready right now, and it's priced at 354, but that's before any incentives. And I'm telling you guys, if you're thinking about buying a home, now is the time. It has switched over to a buyer's market. There's a lot of inventory here in the Houston area right now, which plays into the favor of all of our favorite clients watching these videos on YouTube. Now, maybe you're not sold and you want to know more about this area. There's some great neighborhoods popping up left and right out here. If you want these really reputable builders like you saw here, but you are looking for all those bells and whistles in those big master plan communities, then you're definitely going to check out one of our most recent videos right here. And if you want lower prices in Magnolia, I know it's surprising, we've got you covered right here. And as always, if you're thinking about moving to Houston, don't be shy. Just give us a call, shoot us a text, send us a quick email. That way we can help you guys make a smooth move right here to Houston, Texas.